Hey everyone! Today we're jumping into a Java framework that's an absolute must-know if you ever have to deal with huge amounts of data. We're talking about Spring Batch. But first, let's talk about a problem I'm sure you've run into. Have you ever been stuck trying to process, I don't know, thousands or maybe even millions of records all at once? It could be an end-of-day report, a giant database migration, or just importing a massive CSV file. You know that sinking feeling when your simple script just can't handle it and you start stressing about memory, failures, and how slow everything is running? Well, that exact problem is why Spring Batch exists. It's a lightweight but really comprehensive Java framework that's built specifically for robust batch processing. Think of it less like a Swiss Army knife and more like a powerful, specialized tool designed to do one thing incredibly well: handle those heavy-duty data jobs with total reliability. So how does it actually do it? How does it tame these massive data sets without breaking a sweat? Well, it all boils down to a really simple and elegant architecture. Let's break down its core processing flow. At its heart, every Spring Batch job follows this three-step dance. First, you have the reader. It reads data from your source, but, and this is key, it does it in manageable chunks, not all at once. Then, each item from that chunk gets passed to the processor, which is where you put all your business logic and transformations. And finally, that fully processed chunk of data is handed off to the writer. This whole read, process, write pipeline is exactly what keeps the memory usage low and your logic clean, even if you're dealing with millions of records. Okay, so that's the theory. But where do you actually see this in action? Let's look at some of the real-world jobs that developers are building with Spring Batch every single day. Honestly, this framework is everywhere, powering so many of those critical behind-the-scenes jobs in big applications. We're talking about importing gigantic CSV files without crashing your server, or pulling off a complex database-to-database migration. Spring Batch is also the engine behind custom report generation, those big ETL, extract, transform, load pipelines, and pretty much any scheduled overnight process that has to run perfectly without anyone watching over it. Now, you might be thinking, hey, I could probably just write a custom script for that. And you know what? You're not wrong. But that brings us to the most important question of all. Why bother with a whole framework like Spring Batch? And this is where Spring Batch just pays for itself right out of the box. For starters, you get incredible scalability, letting you process jobs in parallel to just slash the execution time. But for me, the real game changer is restartability. Just imagine your job fails after processing 2 million out of 3 million records. With a simple script, you'd have to start all over again. Nightmare. With Spring Batch, it knows exactly where it failed and can just pick up right from that point. That can save you hours. On top of that, you get built-in transaction management to keep your data consistent, and even fancy skip and retry logic to handle bad records without killing the entire job. This is what enterprise-grade resilience looks like. So, at the end of the day, Spring Batch isn't just about processing tons of data, it's about doing it reliably and efficiently. It gives you the rock-solid structure you need to turn a complicated, error-prone mess into a manageable, fault-tolerant process. The next time you're staring down a mountain of data, you'll know exactly what tool to reach for. Thanks for joining me.